Hi guys, we've just created our own personal ArcoPlasma. In previous video, we went to ArcoPlasma ISO, we git cloned it, we changed a few things, extra things, and the extra things we've changed is I want chromium, darktable, deadbeef on my ISO already. So when I install it, I'll have them already and I don't need to do sudo pacman -s afterwards, right? So it's a choice. It's something you can do on ArcoLinux to actually create and build the latest ArcoPlasma or ArcoNet or Arco Pro with the latest kernels, drivers, applications that you like, and remove applications you don't like. For instance, Firefox, right? All it takes is this. Build the ISO. There won't be Firefox present when you reboot. Okay, so now it's the second video. Second video is we've got ourselves an ArcoPlasma. Let's install it. Super F5, and this is the most fun, right? Building, sorry, not Super F5, Super F7, I guess. This is our educational video. So clone what? How should we call it? EduPlasma, right? Educational video about how to create ArcoPlasma yourself. And then, like I said, it's the most fun is thinking, what should I add? What should I remove? And then you test it out. Is it working? Did I create my own personal ISO? Yes, you did. So again, let's make another summary. This is Intel, AMD, this is NVIDIA. This is if everything else fails, safe graphics, no mode set. But this is again a second kernel. Kernels can help out, but also can break things. So we've got 3 ISOs with all kind of different kernels, with always the default one and an extra, an LTS or a Zen or CashOS, right? Something extra to test. Is that the problem? Is the kernel the problem? I can't boot up. So you can switch, okay? You have a choice. Choices are important. Let's make it Control F. So this is all screen, full screen. So right Control F in VirtualBox. Full screen. When we're working in VirtualBox, we always need to think Wayland, right? If your screen is black, think Wayland. Is there something going wrong, right? Because of Wayland. You can spend a lot of hours and days maybe wasting it and then burning your ISO on a USB, installing it on real metal, and everything works. That has happened to me once. So I have now the reflex. If things are not working on VirtualBox, burn it on a USB, install it on real metal. Again, the choices that we commonly have, right? Either you go offline, you're in the mountains and the beach, right? Nothing can go wrong. There's no need for an internet connection or firewall somewhere. Everything is gonna be just dandy. But this one needs a lot of variables that are all in place. You need to have internet, the network card shouldn't be broken, the LAN cable should be okay, the switch should be okay, the router should be okay, you should have paid your bills, the routers on the internet should all work, the server should be there. I mean, right? The list goes on. So this is a risk. Simple as that. And we always say use the easy installation if the advanced installation fails. And then later on you install your software. The information down here is also interesting to take a look. We have 3 well, 4 ISOs these days, but 3 that are called Arco, Pro, Plasma, and Net. And what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. You get Plasma and all the apps. So read this thing good and thorough. It says here for Plasma, you get Plasma and all the apps. Basically this is what you get. You get a browser, and actually it's not that much you get. This is not our choices. This is our choice, yes. But the rest is just sudo pacma -s Plasma. Oh, look at that. This was our choice. Internet, same thing. Chromium, that was our choice. And one more, multimedia, deadbeef. And this is how it looks on Plasma. So a lot different than on ChatWM, because we are tiling. Here we don't tile, and you can make this very, very small if you want. So yeah, cool. We got our own choices, our own applications. We've built it ourselves. It's now the latest kernel. There's some stuff in here, of course, from us. ArcoLinux 3 tool, the welcome app, desktop treasure, things that we have built. And there we go. Off we go. You decide what you choose. One thing is offline, and the other one is online. No risk, a lot of risk, depending on where you live, of course. Also, electricity shouldn't be intermittent. Internet shouldn't be intermittent, right? Otherwise, everything fails. And we've changed a little bit our text here. System deboot recommended is what we've put forward now these days. We've seen in grub in the last 8 years fail twice for our users. So I think it's safe to say, shouldn't we recommend system deboot now? So there we go. Install system deboot recommended. And this is the look for the offline. You see, there's not that much choice. Well, let's say it's the normal amount of choices that any Linux distribution gives, basically, right? It just says, okay, that's where I live. That's my keyboard. Let's erase everything. Fine, good for me. Other choices. Next, and this is a basic setup of any Linux distro out there, even if it's not using calamars. These are the variables, right? Or you say I go for an online version, install system deboot recommended, and you get the same things, of course, but some extra. So it's the same things, but here we can decide something more, add more kernels, more drivers, other display managers or login managers. Here we can decide our Pacman Plasma packages. So these have been created but are not on there by default. So if you choose the easy installation, it's a virgin Plasma. That's the message. If you install this as extra, you get extra key bindings, extra service menu, and a few themes. So that's the extra. All the rest is still pure Arch. This is pure Arch. There's a lot of groups. If you install this, you have the full Plasma. You probably never have seen the full Plasma. So have a look. There's lots and lots of applications, and maybe some games for the kids that you can, or education, that you can share with them. Plasma is quite far in the development of Wayland, and it makes sense if you want to investigate in these guys, that you use this ISO. Then you have Plasma as the default, and it's gonna work fine, right? It's thorough, and these are the playful, more kind of if it works fine, I'm gonna experiment with tiling window managers. I'm gonna go into the config. I'm gonna learn a little bit about these things, and then back to Plasma. So that's a choice. If you want to install more, then you do that. All the ArcoLinux stuff that we have ever built, that you can install more. Communication stuff. Maybe it makes sense to make this full screen, right? And have a look what's there. There's a lot, and Skype is gonna die. We'll see. We'll remove it if it's that. It's a lot of stuff. You just go through the list, and see if you like any of it. Talking about deadbeef earlier on. Let's see, multimedia. Here he is, right? There is no need to build your own ISO if you want to have deadbeef. You just click here now and you have it. But it's already on the ISO, right? Calamares doesn't know. It's not of artificial intelligence. There's no reasoning behind it. You've put already deadbeef there. It's already there. So there's no need to install it again. Basically, you're gonna download it, install it again if you click. So it doesn't make sense. And so on, right? Darktable was here as well. Chromium is there as well. I just click always to the end, and then I click this because I am a developer. Software for ArcoLinux developers and beta testers. That's the things I'd like to have on my future system, but it's up to you, right? And then we go back to Amsterdam, Paris, Brussels. Next. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't say the correct town, country and town, that's because the server of Plasma is down for the moment, and that's just timing. That's it. And next time around, it will be back online. And you say next, and that's that. And now it goes installing. If you don't like these, well, if you don't like the slider, you can always get at some extra technical stuff. Scroll all the way up, and you see which version we're working with. We work with our own GitHub from Calamares, so a fork, and from time to time we sync again. And we're actually not using the official releases, so number 3.3.14, but we use one level up and the in-between versions as well, if you know what I mean. So at some point in time we're starting to build ISOs, and we're gonna grab the code from Calamares. But we're not using 3.3.14, so that's the official version that everybody is downloading. We're basically going to download this. If I was too fast, 11 commits to Calamares since the release. Get it? That means that if you install this, you won't have the new commits, 11 commits after this. So basically we do this, right? We're going to grab the last code, and February 20 post-release housekeeping. That's okay, that's just some text, right? Just some text. But if you are serious about ISO building, and if you want to use Calamares, of course, you need to sign up and follow everything that's been said here. But that's, of course, not for the end user. The end user sees this and says, okay, let's just sit back and wait. Let's pause the video. And suddenly you get this message, right? We're done. And then we restart. We choose how to boot. We've got two kernels. You can remove one. The one that works for you. Right? Use that one. Is there a need to keep two? No, not really. But it's might be a fail-safe, right? If something happens, have another kernel. And then the welcome app comes up. Let's remove this one. That's the welcome app also, but from Plasma. This is from us, of course. Again, here the information. Always check out what was it again, right? It is complex in the beginning, and in the end you get, okay, it's one way of doing things. I have to make choices always. A bit strange that it's so big. Should be better that, but okay, whatever. So install software. Do things. What do I want more or less, right? This is also less. Install more or install less. an example. Is there an example? Communication, Discord, boom. Discord is gone. Telegram is uninstalled. Simple, right? The ArcoLinux tweak tool, great to install more desktops. That's, I think, the selling point of it, to so quickly, anywhere on anything ArcoLinux based, grab just a click and a click, and it's installed. But there is more, of course. Have a look. There's the update Arch mirrors, a script to update and get the fastest mirrors around. So Ctrl-Alt-T, the end mirror list, that's what we're talking about. It's now empty. If you update now, it's not gonna work, right? It doesn't know any server. So we'll wait. And now we ask it again. And it seems that the Netherlands have won. Netherlands, mirrors, kick you, me. And ES, I think, is Spain. And Italy. And Mirror Uzbek, the one I've promoted for the last years, is all the way down there. There he is, right? Number 4. And you might say, that's the one I want, then that's the one you get. But you need to manually quick change things. Voila, this is, all these packages are coming from Uzbek. Okay, so 3 lines. Can I make this bigger? Voila, 3 lines are not used. Hashtag 4th line is used. Do not ask again. Close the window. Thank you very much. Done. And screen resolution is there, actually not for Plasma, right? Tiling window managers. Resolution. Choose a resolution I want to have. On tiling window managers, it's so important. And certainly on VirtualBox when it's super small. And that's it. That's the video. That's the installation. That's Chromium. Is it working? Yup, it's not broken. Ah yeah, tip. Classic blowfish encrypted file. Finish. Password. Keep empty. Will you like to use password anyway? Yes. It will never ask a password again. That's one thing. Then the multimedia thing was the deadbeef. That's something we did. And our darktable, the multimedia. Darktable graphics. Darktable is looking like this. Getting ready to unleash your creativity. Woo. Yeah, it's for raw pictures. So the huge pictures. Every light thing, well, every beam of light that falls on your, what do they call that? Your sensitive plate in your machine. That's what you get. Well, it's gone now, but there was something. He was explaining something, right? It used to be, I think, blacker. I think now it's gray. So design-wise, changed. All good. You use this one. Don't see immediately where to change the theme. But there we go. You got yourself a... Let's end with that. That's the ISO. Your ISO. And what are we using? Sudo use. And yeah, let's make it bigger and then scroll. Well, so the same information here, ISO. We're using UEFI, we've chosen for system deboot. That's the thing we have, the partitions, and we're going for X4. We chose SADM, Plasma X11 is what we're using, so not Wayland at this point in time, but it's there. We have 2 kernels, we can remove one. All you need to type is remove, tap, tap. There's no NVIDIA present. There's no grub found because we're system deboot. So all kind of informations, and what was I going to say? Remove. After the installation, think about it. Shall I remove something? Shall I remove the Broadcom Realtek? Do I have these drivers? No. Why should I have those drivers? For compatibility for other users. But you don't need them. You remove them, right? And on VirtualBox, of course, remove them. So there's stuff here that people have asked in the past. Remove variety, microcode, KMX, debug, things that or quick to remember. Remove, there's another word to remember, and that's get something. You can get the Linux Cache OS from Chaotic Repo. So if it's been a while, you will get new Linux kernels, and it's as simple as typing this, and it will do the work for you. You'll get the latest kernel. Same goes for ChatWM. You know I'm a fan of ChatWM. This will install ChatWM. This will install ChatWM. Exactly the same thing. This is coming from the ArcoLinux 3 tool. If I am on anything based on Arch, I'll install the ArcoLinux 3 tool. I'll type get chatwm on ATT. Done. I'm happy, right? I have my tiny window manager. Life can be simple. Learn to script. Ask ChatGPT and other AIs to create your script for you. Try and again. And gradually you get to know also how to script by reading code from others, even if it is from AI. Have fun creating ArcoPlasma. Cheers.